Hello again, wonderful patron. I'm really excited about this video that I'm about to do for you. I'm gonna try to keep it brief, okay? Because I think that we all just like brevity, and I have a habit of doing tangents and things like that. But the reason I'm excited about this video is because I've actually included a Guitar Pro file, and if you don't have Guitar Pro, I've included a PDF file, which just basically means that you're gonna be able to see the text anyway. You're gonna be able to see the image. This is totally off the cuff. I totally made this up, but I had this thought that I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to teach you about triads. I want to teach you about triads and the magic of them. So, without further ado, right? I called this one D-string root triads, and then I put in parentheses major and minor. Okay? So all that means, again, you know how I am. I want to get the mystery out of all this stuff. Let's say you have one note, okay? Let's say you want to make an A major triad, right? That might sound confusing to the average listener or even the newcomer to guitar, things like that. What I wanted to do was start to demystify that process for you in this lesson. So, if we know where an A is, right? So I'm just going to tell you for now where the A is, and later on you'll get better at like knowing where notes are and stuff. But there's an A on the 7th fret of the D string, right? And I've included that in the tab. 7th fret of the D. And I'm going to play the first, I guess what we could call the first figure for you, right? So this is A major. Right? And here's A minor. And so that's all in the tab, right? The reason I included those very simply like that is because I wanted to ease you into the whole idea. So again, I just want to remind you, here's A major scale. So whenever you see in that, and I hope you guys are like watching this video because you'll actually be able to know what I'm talking about in the tab. So whenever you see the numbers on the top, they say 1, 3, 5. All that means is, remember that major scale shape I showed you? Right? Or, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're literally just taking numbers out of that scale sequence. So 1 is obviously the first one. And we skip the second, and we go to the third. Skip the fourth, and go to the fifth. So we end up with 1, 3, 5. But we're doing the same thing on this new chord shape. See? Sorry. There you go. That's 1, 3, 5. And when I say, this is a really key part, by the way, for you guys. When I say 1, 3, 5 and 1 flat 3, 5 and the things you'll see in this tab, I'm not talking about, it's not like there's one scale that we're doing the whole time. Whenever I say those numbers, we're referring to the lowest note that I'm playing, that we're playing in that root, right? So if our lowest note is, you know, in this case it's A, right? 7th fret of the D. Then we act like there's a new major scale shape around that. I hope that makes sense, and it will make sense to you guys later, but I'm just gonna go past that real quick. So 1, 3, 5. The bottom one is 1. The middle one there, the little diagonal shape here, is 3, and then the other diagonal up from that is the 5th note of the scale. So of course, if we take this middle note, right, the 3, and flatten it, we take it down by 1, we're gonna get a flat 3. Just like this is a 3, a flat 3 would naturally, logically be that, but just lower 1. That's why I put it that way for you guys. I wanted you to see how closely related the whole thing is, right? So we got the major, and the only difference between a major and a minor is that the third is flattened. So we just flatten the third. There you go, we have an A minor. The low one still stays A. The third is now flattened. The fifth is the same. So I hope that is already starting to, you know, turn some light bulbs on for you. So I also included another shape. This is like figure 2, I guess you could say. D major. Same exact diagonal shape, right? But we're starting now on the D, which is basically the 12th fret of the D string. It's literally just the same note, but a whole octave higher. Same diagonal shape, same chord type. D major, 1, 3, 5. And then we can go D minor. We just flatten that little middle note. We take the middle note, which we know is the third, because it's in the middle of 1, 3, 5. Take it down by 1, flatten it. D minor. Only difference. So for this third figure, I wanted to kind of introduce some musicality, I guess you could say. So I wanted to not just be so static, chord, number. I didn't want to be that way. You guys know I'm not like that, right? That, or at least that I don't enjoy those type of things. It's not the same as like a song, right? So let's say we were going to turn this stuff into a more musical thing, right? Something that actually sounds nice, right? Something that's going to be something that we're actually probably going to listen to, that you could start adding lyrics to, you could start adding bass to, and things like that, right? I mean, I'll get carried away probably, but anyway. So instead of stiff stuff, numbers, here's the 2, here's the, like, we're gonna treat it nicely, right? So A major, let's say that's our 1, right? In this case, if we're in the key of A, our 1 chord is A major, but don't even worry too much about it. So we got A major chord, right, which I showed you in that first part of the tab. And then we go to a B minor. So I'm going to make my root a B now, right? This was an A, so this is going to be a B. It's 1 whole letter above the A, but we're going to do the minor shape. Remember how the major shape was the diagonal thing? To me, the major shape, when you're starting on a D string, right? You know the note is on the D string. You know the root is on the D. So you can just do a diagonal shape. To me, it's diagonal. It's like a line. So, you guys see how that works? And then all I have to do is do the same diagonal shape, but flatten that. You see how I'm doing that? I'm taking this one in the middle down by 1. And then it becomes a minor. So it's literally the same exact shape, but I'm just making it flattened in the middle, and now it's a minor. So we got, again, off that tangent. A major, I move my root to the B, and then I do the minor shape, which looks like that. Or I could arpeggiate it, as you'll see in the tab, and I'll go. I'll go to the B minor, D major, flatten 3rd, D minor, A major. So again, you guys see how it starts to become music? But I've only used the shapes that I just taught you. So again, forgive me if you already know those shapes, but I'm just, I still get excited about those things because, you know why? It's because we're able to take such rudimentary shapes. These are triads. I used to think, again, that infamous chord chart that I'll always keep bringing up to you guys. I used to think, oh, the chords are so crazy. It's like I have to memorize a million different configurations. It's like some crazy math problem or something. It's not. So many of these things can be broken down into simple tertiary or quadratic, or I mean, that sounds complicated. I'm making it complicated for no reason, but 3-note, 4-note, something like that. That's a chord. So what we just did was create the whole feeling of a major chord or a minor chord without getting crazy. We didn't even have to move all over the neck. We literally just were on one spot, and then we moved to the next spot like an inch away, and we did a whole nother feeling. And then we just moved another inch away from that, and we're pretty much doing a whole song by then. So anyway, I mean, I'll get into more stuff later with you guys about it, but I hope that's encouraging to you. Again, I've included a tab. I'm really excited about this one because, I'm starting to get more familiar with my programs and things like that, like I promised you guys I would. So I'm going to include the tab with this one. Again, if you don't have Guitar Pro, you're going to be able to see the PDF for it. As always, you can message me for anything that you guys would like to see. If there's any questions you have, if there's anything you'd like me to touch on later on, or soon, I guess. I'm always here for you guys. I really am. So that has been Triads, but we're starting on the D string, right? So the 3rd string up. The 3rd lowest string, right? As long as you know what the note that you're playing with, like in my case, the ring finger, right? So this little low note here, since that was a D, I do my shape and it's a D major. This is an A, I do my shape and it's a A major. If I do the minor shape with that same root, A minor, things like that. I could go into a lot of different things about this whole topic, but we'll save that for other lessons, right? I've included as much text as I possibly can. I've done the numerical parts of it, like the scale degrees of things like that, and hopefully you guys are starting to get a grasp of what I'm talking about when I use those numbers and stuff like that. To be honest with you, I don't really always know them myself. I'm literally just learning it myself. Not to be confused with me not being confident in what I'm teaching you, but the truth is that I've gone a long time without knowing music theory, and now I'm starting to kind of unveil it for my own self. And I think, look at that. I think that's why I'm so excited to teach you guys this stuff, because you start to peel back layers of things you just didn't have access to before. I mean, if you guys are like me, remember I that chord chart that I keep talking about. It can get so scary out there in the world when it comes to music, and it hurts me so much that daunts so many people into not getting into music, just because it's so scary to get into it sometimes. You think it's some big complicated deal. It doesn't have to be. It really doesn't have to be. Look at this. We just did major chords and minor chords. You did 3 notes each time, and it's literally the same 3 notes except for 1 note in the middle to make a minor chord. You understand that that's like 95% or more of every song that you've ever heard in your life, right? Every popular song, every good song that we all like, right? So, again, not to get too zealous about it, but basically I hope this has been helpful for you. The tab is included, PDF is included. As always, let me know if you have any questions. You can always feel free to message me. As my patrons, you have full access to me when it comes to any of this stuff that you guys are hearing me talk about. I'm happy to, at any hour of the day, help you with anything you'd like. If there's a song that you'd like me to go over, or if we could analyze a song together, we can do that. And again, I'm really thrilled about the fact that I'm starting to use this Guitar Pro program and stuff like that. I'm starting to be able to kind of figure out how to give it to you guys as well. So yeah, I love you a lot. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope this has been helpful for you as always, and I will see you on the next lesson. We're just gonna keep getting into it. Appreciate you so much, and I hope you have an awesome rest of your day.